Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I cannot believe I am here already with my 3-month post-op update. Please tell me where the time has gone. I cannot believe that 12 weeks ago today I had my gastric bypass surgery. Like, that sounds just so unbelievable to me. The time has been both extremely long, but also so fast. Like, I'm sure it wasn't 4 weeks ago that I sat down to do my 2-month update. Like, it can't have been. It can't be. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name's Trina-Louise and I had a gastric bypass surgery 12 weeks ago today. I've been documenting the whole journey, so I'll link the playlist for you from my pre-op diet to my operation and throughout the process ever since. So if you want to see the whole journey, I'll link the playlist for you up in the cards and in the description box so that you can follow along. I feel like a lot has happened since our last update for how quickly the past 4 weeks has gone, and in this video I'm going to tell you all about how the past 4 weeks have been, and then at the end I'll give you an update as to how much weight I lost this month and how much weight I've lost in general. So the past 4 weeks, I feel like I've really started to notice a difference for the first time. Not drastic differences, I've had to really pay attention to notice the difference, but I have noticed them. I'm starting to see that jeans are getting looser. I'm starting to see that I have a little bit more energy. So my clothes are, I haven't changed clothes size yet. I'm still between a 28 and a 30, and that hasn't changed with dresses. The only thing that I've started to notice the difference on, like I said, is jeans, and I think that's because they're sort of pretty skin tight hugging clothes anyway. So I don't know if I've got any jeans that fit me. I need to go through. I've got a couple of pairs left hanging up that I haven't tried yet, but even like a pair that I put on the other day to go to the shop with Layla, I put it on and I was like, oh, these fit, great, wonderful. Walking around the shop, I was hoiking them up the whole time. So I'm definitely starting to see that difference for the first time. I think it's going to take a while for dresses because of the kind of dresses I wear. You know me, if you've watched any of my clothing hauls, I like looser fitting dresses. So it's going to take a while before I notice the change in that, which is kind of a good thing because it means I can keep wearing my wardrobe and I don't need to replace all of the items just yet. What I do want to do though, I filmed a sort of tidy with me video which will be coming soon, and I realised in that video that it's about time I do a clothing declutter. Not necessarily because I have loads of clothes to get rid of, which I maybe do have some, and by get rid I mean like sell and donate, but because I want to go through and see which clothes are more looser fitting so that I can get good use out of them now before they become too big for me. So I'm probably going to do that quite soon. So that's one thing that I have noticed. I don't look in the mirror and see any difference apart from in my face. I feel like I'm starting to see it in my face for the first time, but I can't see it in my body. Other people have said they can, but I'm the one that looks at myself every day in the mirror, and it's going to take, I think, the longest for me to be able to see the changes. When I've got friends that I haven't seen for 3 months or for 2 months, it's a bit more obvious to them. I don't think it's the most obvious as of yet. I still think it's quite subtle, the change, but they can see it more easily than I can. So still can't really see changes, but I'm definitely starting to feel them. I said to Adam the other day, like before my surgery, when I filmed a clothing haul, I would have to sit down a good couple of times in the video to like catch my breath and just get my energy back. Like every 2 or 3 outfits, I'd need a proper break. And the other day we scrubbed our decking outside in the garden because it needs restaining. So you have to like scrub it with this special cleaning solution first. So I was on my hands and knees for like an hour or two scrubbing, like working really hard in the garden. And then I came and filmed a haul. I can't remember which haul it was. Maybe it was my Boohoo haul or my Shein haul, I'm not sure. But I came and filmed a haul. And it wasn't until the end of that video that I said to Adam, I was like, I didn't take one break. I filmed that whole haul, all of the items, without stopping, without sitting down, without taking a break. And I was like, woo! I can feel that change, because if you've been following me on this journey before now, I'd said that I really haven't been feeling the positive physical effects of the surgery up till now, and that's quite a subtle change, but it's still a change. And I was so excited because for me, one of the main reasons of having this surgery is to feel more physically able to do things and not have my size hold me back because I can't walk up 2 flights of stairs without having to sit down because I actually feel in pain. So for me, that was just so incredible and so exciting. And then again, I went to Edinburgh last weekend for my friend's birthday and we danced. We danced so hard. Like, I looked at my watch and it said I'd done 5.5 miles and I hadn't left the house. So that meant that other than like getting ready and like moving around the house, I'd danced for 5.5 miles, which is just unimaginable compared to before surgery. I would have been exhausted, and don't get me wrong, the next day I was tired and achy, but I would not have danced for 5.5 miles. Like, it was just so much fun. So I feel like I'm definitely starting to see some of those physical like changes, not in terms of appearance, but in terms of how I'm feeling physically in my body, which is just, honestly, it makes me so excited. I had my first checkup with my surgeon, so I had a 2-month in-person checkup, and he really surprised me, actually. He really surprised me. Like, my surgeon is great. I know that for a lot of us, we have experiences that are not so great with medical professionals when we talk about our weight. But he told me how well I've been doing, which was just so validating to hear. Like, as someone who's been really worried that I hadn't been doing enough or losing enough or making enough progress, having him say, "You're doing really well," was so validating and meant so much. And he told me everything that I already know and everything that I would say to anyone having the surgery, but what I've been struggling to tell myself is that the scales are not the only factor. They're not the most important factor. They just tell a small part of the story. It's about how you feel and what you can do and seeing those differences, and just having a medical professional tell me that was just, it was amazing. And he also said something to me which actually made me cry, because, like, it's going to sound obvious when I say it, and I tell you how much I've lost, but to me, I hadn't realised. But he told me at my 2-month check-in that I'd already lost 1/4 of my excess body weight, which, yeah, made me cry. Because I think it's just all the fears that I've had that I wasn't doing good enough, to know that in that short period of time I really have made an impact on my journey, and that he was impressed with what I'd done so far and all the hard work that I've put into this, because it has been hard. Like, it really has been hard. To have him say, "You've achieved this much already and you're doing well," just meant so much. And I called my gran afterwards, and as I said it to her, I just cried. It was the most wonderful appointment, so I'm really grateful for that, because I was nervous. I don't know what it was, but going in I was like, oh, is he going to be disappointed? Is he going to have something negative to say? Is he not going to be impressed? I don't know, but he was, and I had nothing to be nervous about. So that was great. It was so good. Just that validation from someone that, like, traditionally I maybe wouldn't have expected to get that from, was incredible. And yeah, I've lost 1/4 of my excess body weight, more now. That's just incredible. And I do know that after a couple of months the weight loss starts to slow down, but the fact that I'd made that much of an inroad into my journey so quickly was just incredible. There's a couple of things that I did for the first time this month. One of them was go to the gym. Now, I'm not going to talk about the gym too much because I've only been once. It was my goal to be going more, but life has been hectic. Like, I posted a video a couple of days ago talking about how life's been a bit overwhelming and a bit hectic, and I need to give myself a bit of grace and forgiveness. So I've been to the gym once. Probably not going to have a lot of time to go over the Christmas period. I do want to get to the point where I'm going 2 or 3 times a week because I enjoy the gym. I just need to get into a routine. So I went for the first time, which feels like a big hurdle. I went swimming. I did 15 laps. I'd set myself a goal of 10 laps and I did 15, and I was so proud. So I think that what I want to do is something like go swimming once a week, go to like Pilates or yoga once a week, and then go to something like body pump once a week. I think that'll cover all the grounds that I'm looking for exercise wise. So that's the routine I've got planned, probably for the new year when life settles back down again. But yeah, it was really nice to just go, because you can sometimes build the gym up in your head, like I really did. I used to go all the time. I used to love it. And then I stopped and I put more weight on and I lost my fitness level, and it became this big impossible thing nothing. So just having that first time of going just felt wonderful. So that was a good first step and something to be continued and something that I really want to get into my routine. I tried some different foods for the first time. Now, I talked in my last video about how I have a bit of an addictive personality with chocolate, and I was planning on holding off as long as possible. And quite a few people said in the comments that I should never have chocolate again. And I kind of want to talk about the fact that, we'll get back onto chocolate in a minute, but I want to maybe talk about this a little bit for anyone that's going through this journey. And that is that everyone in your life is going to have different advice for you, and they're normally going to be coming from a good place of wanting you to do well and wanting to be successful and to give you this advice. And I think that's what's been happening in my comments. I've had people tell me lots of different things that they think I should avoid. But what I would say is I have a dietitian who I'm working with, and I would hope that any of you who are going through this process would have a package that means you have a dietitian available to you. So I'm following the advice and guidance that my dietitian gives me, because they know me, they know my medical history, they know my journey, they know my surgery, they know my surgeon. So I'm following their advice, and that would be my advice to anyone going through this. No matter how well wished the comments are that people give you and the advice that people give you, please follow the advice of your medical professionals, because they're the ones that are trained to give you that advice and know your full story. So that's just a piece of advice to pass on for anyone who's going through this. Listen to your medical team, not those who, whilst they have the best wishes for you, aren't necessarily a part of that medical journey or that medical team. So please don't think that that means I'm angry at anyone for giving me those comments or advice. I just want to let you know that if you think I'm not listening to your advice or I'm not taking those comments in, it's because I have a medical professional team, and they're the people whose guidance I am following. So thank you so much for all your kind comments of support and guidance, but I'm going to be listening to my medical team and following their guidance, and that's what I would advise anyone else do. So going back to chocolate, I had chocolate for the first time. I had 3 Lindt chocolate balls, and no, I didn't have them all in the same day. I had one a day across 3 different days, and for me that was such a relief, because I've had this surgery not because I want to cut food out forever. I don't want to have that relationship where I can never have chocolate, I can never have crisps, I can never have a treat. I've had this surgery because I want to have a healthy relationship with food, and that means once in a blue moon I can have some chocolate, once in a while I can have some crisps. I don't want to live my life with that an unhealthy approach to food. I wanted to do this so I had a healthier approach. So I was scared about having chocolate for the first time. Would I have those addictive feelings that I had before surgery? And for me, I'm so relieved to say that I didn't, because I had those 3 Lindt balls across those 3 days, and that was about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't had chocolate since. Not because I've told myself I couldn't, but because I've told myself if I do, it needs to be worth it. It needs to be something I'm really looking forward to. It needs to be a small chocolate that I really, really want, and not just something I've grabbed on a whim. It needs to be something that I make the most of. And the fact that I've been able to go in shops, have a look and go, no, I don't need any of this, which is something I could never have done before, is the biggest change for me. I cannot explain how impactful that change is, and I'm so glad and I'm so grateful. And it comes with the hormonal changes that come along with surgery, because not only is my stomach smaller, but they've removed part of my intestines, which creates hunger hormones, for want of more scientific phrasing. Scientific phrasing. And so I have been through hormonal changes. So the fact that I was able to have 1 Lindt ball, and the fact that I've been able to walk in shops, look at chocolate and leave it, even when I've told myself I could, is just... it's just incredible. I'm so happy. It's the best change that I could have hoped for, because apart from having a small appetite, obviously, it's the thing that I was so hopeful would happen, and I'm so glad that it has. I've had 1 packet of crisps, and I've had a couple of crisps here and there, but I've only had 1 like full packet of crisps, and it was just like a normal packet, and that was fine. I wasn't overly bothered, so I don't think that it's going to be something that I need a lot of. I haven't had any sweets yet, haven't felt the need. I've left them alone even when they've been offered to me. So I have started to open up some of these things that I had been stopping myself having, and I'm glad that I did wait, because I think they've had less power over me because I've had so long without them. I did also have my first drink of alcohol. Now, some people don't ever drink alcohol again. I left it for nearly 3 months because that's what felt right to me. I had a small glass of wine to see if I could, and I was absolutely fine. So then I had a couple more glasses at my friend's birthday. What I would say with alcohol is you do need to be careful, and the reason that I did leave it for a period of time is 1, for my stomach to recover from the surgery, and 2, because there is a risk of alcohol addiction transfer. So for those of us who have had struggles with food addiction, alcohol can quite easily replace that addiction in your life. Now, alcohol's never been a big part of my life, like for the past 8 years, because Adam can't really drink very much because of his health conditions. So we don't really casually drink. I might have drink with dinner if we go out to a restaurant, or if it's a sunny day we might have a cider, or if I'm meeting my girlfriends I might have some cocktails, but we're not big drinkers. So I felt pretty safe and secure that that wouldn't become a problem for me, and I knew that if it felt like it was going to become a problem, I have a therapist on hand through my surgery package that I purchased. So it felt pretty safe for me, and it was absolutely fine. I didn't struggle with it. I know that some people can't drink alcohol after surgery, maybe because of the sugar in the alcohol, I think, but it was something that was fine for me. So I had my drink to test, and then I had my drink out at my friend's birthday, and that's it. Like, I don't feel the need to be drinking all the time. I'm not gonna just casually drink. I think I might have had 1 glass of wine at home whilst I was like testing it all out to make sure that it was like, I didn't want to go to my friend's birthday and have my first drink and feel ill, so I wanted to test in a safe environment. But I haven't felt the need to have a drink since, and I will probably have a casual drink here and there if I go out with friends like I used to, but it hasn't taken that addictive place for me, which I'm really grateful for. And it is something that I wanted to mention, because if you weren't aware and you're going through this process, it is something that you should consider, that there is that risk of alcohol, of addiction transfer. Now, I feel like I'm getting a little bit rambly because I think it's nearly lunchtime for me. So I want to move on to the final part of this video, where I tell you about my weight loss for this month. Now, as I've said in pretty much every video, and I've said in this video, weight on the scales is not the most important indicator. It's not the only indicator, but for me, it is something that matters right now. It matters more than I want it to. It's something I've been working on. I have said in my past updates that I've been struggling with the scales, and that's definitely got a bit better for me this month. I haven't been weighing every day. I've been weighing every couple of days, and when things have stalled or not moved, I've been able to look at it more objectively than I had in the past 2 months, because I was feeling very attached to what the scales were saying, and I've definitely seen an improvement in that, which is so good, because I don't, like, I worked for years to remove my self-worth and self-value from the number on the scales, and I was a bit scared by the fact that I was coming back to that place. So I'm really glad that I've been able to step back a little bit this month. So let me just get my app up and I'll tell you what I've lost this month. So when I say month, I mean the past 4 weeks, because I'm doing these videos every 4 weeks. So in the past 4 weeks, I have lost 13.8 pounds, and I'm over the moon. I wish it was 14 pounds, because how much easier would it be to just say a stone? But no, I was 0.2 pounds off a stone. So I essentially lost a stone in the past 4 weeks, and I'm so happy with that. I hit 4 stone this month, which felt like a massive milestone to have lost 4 stone. That was really exciting when I realized that I'd lost 4 stone. So in total, since my pre-op diet, I have now lost 59 pounds. So I'm almost on 60 pounds, and that's in so 12 weeks since surgery plus 2 weeks pre-op. In 14 weeks I've lost 59 pounds, which I'm over the moon with. I'm more excited about the feeling that the changes that I'm starting to feel, but it's also nice to see it reflected on the scale. So that's an average this month of about 3.5 pounds a week, which is just wonderful. Now, I know that it can start to slow down after the first couple of months, so I'm prepared for that. I've had a really good head start with this nearly £60 so far, so if it does slow down a little bit, I'm trying to prepare myself for that mentally. I think because of my size, I might have a little bit of time before it does start slowing down, but if it does slow down this month, as long as it's coming down, I'll be happy. And I know that stalls can happen, and it could be that next month I come here and I've lost nothing, but as long as I can still keep feeling these changes and in my energy levels and what I can do, that's the most important. I will be disappointed if I come back in a month and say I've lost nothing. I can't lie about that. I don't want to lie about that. But I do feel like I've made massive progress on detaching myself from that number on the scales a little bit more than the way that I felt this time 4 weeks ago. So that's just great. So yeah, a stone down this month. I'm just going to say a stone because it's easier than 13.8. A stone down this month, and I'm so happy with that, and I'm so excited to come back again in 4 weeks and tell you